Well, welcome back to the Morning Kick. And this Wednesday, we're going to be talking very shortly to Ben Shapiro from EOS Traction to get some ideas for your business. But we hope that you're sharing these videos around. There's been some experts covering all sorts of things. Yesterday, we had Troy Adams from TechPath giving us some great insights into how we deal with security for our remote workers. Tomorrow, we're going to be dealing with Mel Kettle. Mel is an expert in social media. If you're really looking at how to improve the social media presence for your business, then tune in for this time tomorrow for the Morning Kick. But Ben, welcome to the show. Great to have you with us and to bring in somebody who I've had a lot of admiration for as you guided Excite Media through the EOS Traction system. Tell me, can you give us a bit of background? When did you first become involved with Gino Wickman's EOS?
Yeah, well, look, a lot of the, I've been working specifically as an implementer doing EOS, professional implementer doing EOS for about 3 years now. So 3 going on 4. So obviously, but it's really only the last 3 years when I've been doing that in an official way. Pardon me. I actually have been doing sort of working with these tools for probably about 20 odd years. As my first business I started when I was 18 and kind of liked this idea of an entrepreneur, unfortunately, by heart, but figured out that trying to structure and organize things on a day-to-day basis is really quite difficult in a business. And I actually sort of stumbled across a few other things that aren't, I guess, exactly what EOS looks like, but use some of those tools from a guy called Vern Harnish, and obviously big Jim Collins fan. A lot of what Gino had done with EOS is actually bring all those components together in a very simple way so that you could actually use it and probably make the change happen in an organization just a lot more effectively than the separate elements alone. So, 3 or 4 years on, working with companies, seeing what that looks like, having implemented myself in a couple of organizations that we've sort of started up and sold out. It just makes a lot of sense. It's just so clear that how to actually get control of your business, because a lot of business owners really aren't in control of their business.
Isn't that true? And part of that comes down to actually having a sense of where you're going. You can't put controls or mechanisms or methodologies in place unless you have a mission and vision for your business. And I guess this is one of the benefits of getting onto the Traction system.
Yeah, look, so EOS in itself is, as we sort of talk about, I implement with organizations like Excite, but you can actually self-implement this system yourself. So the one thing I love about this is it's not about having to go and speak to me or anyone else. It's actually freely available from, a lot of it's laid out quite plainly in Traction in the book from Gino Wickman. It's awesome. But really what you're looking to get from getting implemented, whether a professional implementer like myself or trying to do it yourself, is really getting super clear on the vision for your business, because most businesses aren't clear. And if you've got sort of 20 or so people in your business, how clearly can each of those 20 people really articulate what that vision is, top to bottom, front to back, know exactly how that's going to work? And in reality, it's mostly just the owner or the CEO who's got that clear vision in their head and how they're going to do things. EOS gets that super clear, really concise. You also get this I think I call it magical a little bit, but it's about this open, healthy leadership team. And it was one of the things that I, having worked in awesome leadership teams, I loved about it. It's like, how can you build this great leadership team? Business called OBS and Nintex I've been involved with. We had an amazing leadership team, and it felt magic when we were working together. And I was like, how do I replicate that, and how do we do that again? And the one thing that EOS brings to the table that I always call magical is this open, healthy environment where people are getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. They're talking and speaking their mind. There's sort of no politics around, and so that whole approach, getting open, healthy with a leadership team. So you're just working on stuff that works. It's amazing in terms of just lifting weights off shoulders as well. And then the big thing for businesses is really, how do you get this? I call it operational cadence. From an EOS point of view, it's about getting traction. You hear that, sort of getting the wheels spinning, or not stopping the wheel spinning and getting some actual movement forward. But that's about a disciplined accountability and being super clear about what the business machine looks like, so you can just apply it, week in, week out, quarter in, quarter out, year in, year out, and actually just get things happening. And that discipline and accountability that you get from working on that weekly and quarterly cadence is amazing. And that's what EOS brings to the table as well too.
It was really interesting for Excite Media and our leadership team going through the process. First of all, in that first introduction that we had to EOS, we learned so much about ourselves, but also about our potential. But then you find, as you talk about cadence, but you find there's the rhythms in your business. And we came back to that quarterly review and then the annual review. And it's kind of
Yeah.
like there are layers of understanding about your business that come in as you do each of those reviews. For anyone that's interested,
Yeah.
this is the book that you should be getting hold of if you're looking at doing self-implementation. And we have a very special edition here. Look at that, the photo of Ben Shapiro in there as well. Not bad. We get an autograph. So, Ben, what is the actual process that if you're interested in exploring? And yesterday we had, as I say, Troy Adams from TechPath, who's been implementing as part of, I think, a recommendation from Microsoft with EOS.
Yep. Mm.
Where does a business go? Is it only suitable to large businesses? Where do I start?
No. Yeah, well, look, there's a couple of angles, and fundamentally, EOS target customer, if we want to talk about that, is really a business between sort of 2 million and 50 million, or sort of 10 to 250 staff. So it's quite a broad range. But there are businesses who actually are smaller that I work with who are smashing it out of the park because of the nature of the kind of the MSP type business they're in. And there's larger businesses I work with as well too, which are ASX listed and others as well too. So it's a broad range. And in the US, there's a few billion-dollar businesses that use EOS. So one of the fundamental things that you need to kind of realize is that it's kind of about encompassing operating systems. So you kind of choose to use EOS in its entirety, which is, by the way, one of the things that's great about it. You don't have to kind of pick and choose things. You just do the whole thing. So if you try and bits and pieces, it ends up being pretty much where most entrepreneurs start. So I'm going to take a bit of this, I'm going to take a bit of that, and I'm going to try and put it together and see what works. Kind of takes all that off the table. You just use what's in, comes out of the box with EOS, which is fantastic. So again, broad range of applicability, very, very well suited to entrepreneurial thinkers, and it's amazing at bringing clarity to thought. And if you think about what that looks like in today's times, where everyone's looking for a bit of like, what's my right now, my crisis plan from a COVID point of view, the ability to be calm, considered, and just executing well was really what we need to do in these sort of times to just get us moving to the next step and move to the next step and be clear about how we sometimes I'm sort of hearing in the market with the people I'm working with, there's some people who are going amazingly well, so out of control, so fast with what's happening. There's some people whose business have been impacted straight away, and they still need to make really fast, clear decisions to make sure that we make it through. And then there's the middle ground, which is about a third. But the middle ground still need to make some decisions about what it looks like on the other side. So everyone in every stage absolutely needs to be clear about what they're doing and how they're executing. Otherwise, it just becomes, as we know, very emotional, very sort of ups and downs. And what we're really trying to do here is be clear, precise, and sort of working through things in a non-panicked way. Because you know what? On the other side of this, there is, a lot of opportunity, and we will come out of this as well too. So that's, I think I use this analogy where I'm saying hope's not a strategy. So you can't
Very nice.
sort of hope something else is going to happen. You've got to be very deliberate and engineer the things that you want. I think EOS is an amazing, simple, clear approach to getting that done. It's definitely part of my secret sauce, if you want to call that. But in terms of other businesses I work on, so it's not just, I don't just implement EOS with third parties. I've got 3 other businesses of my own, working with the Microsoft guys to help see how EOS works with partners as well too. So, I love talking about EOS as a way to just get clarity and make stuff happen. So
one of the things I like is a catchphrase out of EOS is get traction. And an analogy that I use quite often is if you feel like you're spinning your wheels, then something's wrong. So there's 2 things that probably businesses are facing right now. If you feel like doing the same old is just getting you nowhere, then it's an opportunity for a review and just to be able to look at your business, your systems, your leadership team, everything. And EOS is going to give you that framework. But as you said, we're going to come out the other side of this. This is really also opportunity time. And anyone that has an entrepreneurial spirit that's in essence saying, I wanted to grow anyway, this is an opportunity to say, how can I grow and in what direction? Then EOS is going to give them that framework, isn't it?
Absolutely. And the fundamental why it'll help you is because it helps you just focus on a few things. Entrepreneurs are amazing at just putting lots of stuff out there all the time. What EOS will help you do is get clear on the path to the bigger vision, but then just do the 1 or 2 or 3 things that really matter instead of doing everything. And I'm sure there's a lot of entrepreneurs can relate to that, because I mean, I still can, that's just kind of how it works, right? There's lots of stuff happening. How do I just choose a few things that's actually going to get me to the next stage? And it's slightly counterintuitive how it works, because you think, oh, well, if I'm only going to do 2 or 3 things, how's that going to help me? I've got so many things to deal with. The clarity point on this is that it's about focus, and it's focus that actually gets you to where you want to be. And it's and as I say in sessions as well, it's like you can do whatever you want in terms of time, right? You can either have 40 hours a week or 100 hours a week if you think that that's your work week of time, but you've still only got 40 hours a week or 100 hours a week to do things. So often what happens with time is you just can't do everything, and so you've got to be really clear at picking the things that matter. This helps you get that really clear as well, and alignment to what you want to get in a bigger 3 and 10 year picture too.
I do remember one of the exercises that we went on with you was actually getting a whole lot of ideas and issues and things on a whiteboard, and then as a team being able to distill those down to what actually are we going to work on. And that really brings focus not only to the owners of the business, but everybody that's on board as a leadership team. Well, if we're going to take further action, Ben, this is gettraction.com.au. That's the website where you can connect with Ben and many of the other implementers to find out more. And Ben, there's a process or an offer that's available for people that would like to go to gettraction.com.au.
Absolutely. Obviously, you can reach out here and book a 90-minute meeting. We've got this sort of engagement process from an EOS point of view, which is a 90-minute meeting. It's a 90-minute meeting because it's surprise 90 minutes, but it really gives you the best and clearest understanding as a leadership team what EOS would look like in your business. So that's probably the best way to do it, and probably what I recommend. It's going to be it's free too. There's no sort of charge or anything like that. It's just really very much a help first approach. So go do that. Book a 90. Otherwise, I'm happy to reach out and have a chat to kind of get you there. I probably will always recommend get to a 90 because that's the smartest and best way to do it. But happy to sort of give you some confidence. But certainly this thing's been around. EOS has been around for a long time, been nearly 20 years now. And I was lucky enough to be part of how this kind of got brought into Australia about three or so years ago. But again, I've fundamentally used this in my past life, in all the businesses I've been working on and my current businesses too. It's definitely helps everyone get better. So very much worth your time.
Well, just as a little bit of an endorsement of that, Excite Media's co-founder, Scott Maynard, wrote a blog on our EOS journey so far. If you simply Google Excite Media EOS, you're going to find that blog. And Scott actually walks through what we got out of the process, what we actually did, and what we've learned along the way. A nice short read with some good Q&A, and that'll probably give you another sense of how it's been applied to a business of 25. We've been going for 14 years. And I hope that that is useful to you as you consider whether you'll look into EOS. Well, Ben, I want to say thank you very much for joining us today and giving us some insight into how we can get traction in our business or get a grip on our business, and look forward to catching up with you again soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrew. Good to speak to you, mate.
So there you are, another morning kick with some great offers from our guests and some great insight. I hope that if you're feeling like you're a little bit overwhelmed or just wondering where to turn, that EOS is pointing you in the right direction. So if you want to look up the book, make sure that you get some information, or go to gettraction.com.au. Reach out to Ben. He'd love to talk to you about what's on offer and how their implementers can assist. Now, we've also been offering the Thrival plan. So just remember that that's still available to you in terms of being able to get some background on your business. We'll just go there. We're going all over the place. So the Thrival plan is a Google Doc that you can download and get some key checklists on what's happening with your marketing and your business. So you've got some tools and resources that we've made available. There's an invitation to our Business Thrival Mastermind group. And all you need to do is go to excitemedia.com.au/thrive. There you go. And you'll be able to download that. We've basically said that Google Doc is available to copy and share. Please pass it on to your friends. Anybody can make use of it. However, if you find that there's something that's highlighted in your business that you need some assistance with, particularly in the area of digital marketing, reach out to Excite Media. We're happy to have a free call with you and see what we can do to assist. Well, this has been another edition of the morning kick. Tomorrow, we're back having a look at social media. Pass that on to your friends, and we look forward to catching up with you then.